Hey, morning. We are here at the UCT TV Studios again to do another interview with a group of filmmakers that have released a film online called The Ghost of Winter Cape. I am with
Jethro.
And
B.
Leo.
Thanks so much for joining us and having a little bit of a conversation about your projects. I mean, we're obviously here to talk about the specific film, but also just about your journey as filmmakers and kind of getting into this interesting space as young animators and creating projects, you know, that I would say are like really inspiring for young people. And it's been really kind of a joy to watch and like be part of this kind of journey, I guess, after the experience. I mean, I will obviously get to know a little bit more about like all of your roles within the films, but maybe you could just kind of describe like who you are in the projects, like what, you know, you all acted in the film, but yeah, like what kind of other responsibilities or what else did you do to kind of make this project come to life?
Yeah, well, we were all acting and writing, and it just came about pretty naturally through like, we would make sort of impromptu home movies shot on phone, like at parties and stuff. And then the scope just kind of kept growing from there.
Yeah, we would do hangouts and we'd be like, we want to make a movie just now in the hangout, and you'd start making it and the other people wouldn't know the movie is happening.
Yeah.
They'd walk in a room and then you'd be like, you're in the movie now, you're in the movie.
Like pretend you're a serial killer. Like,
And you kind of figure out the movie as you're just like filming whatever footage you have.
Yeah.
But for these ones, it was more like we split the writing. We wanted all to like write pretty equally amongst us.
Originally like wrote over like WhatsApp or whatever, like we would just sort of send long strings of like a script over WhatsApp and then put it into a Google Doc and refined it a little more from there.
Yeah. We also all contributed in terms of like assets, in terms of like some backgrounds. We try to get each other to draw some backgrounds and do some music where possible as well. So yeah, there's a lot of mix in terms of environments from us too.
Yeah.
I think maybe a good place to kind of like start off then is also just, let's maybe talk about like the synopsis of this film, like just as people that haven't seen it yet and don't really know about the project. I mean, this is kind of like it's a mix of animation and live action where you three are going on this adventure with another one of your friends who's actually a ghost in this case, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Matt's his real name or if it's...
It is.
Because you do use your own names and stuff. It's kind of this interesting approach to filmmaking where it's like you half are the characters in the film, but you also are yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can give me a little bit of an idea of the synopsis, because this is also like a continuation of a lot of, like you said, small projects that you've done in the past or other films. Yeah, like, so what is this film? You know, like, what's going on in this film? What's interesting about it? Like, tell me.
So Ghost of Winter Cape is, I would say it's about a rock star who needs to go to heaven and needs to find a ghost guitar to finish his solo to go to heaven, and essentially that's the main quest of the story. We spoiler, maybe he gets it, maybe he doesn't. It's anyway just an adventure. We become fans of his. We found a flyer to go to his concert, and then we end up talking to him and joining him as a roadie. And
it's set within a fictional version of Cape Town where it's snowing, which doesn't happen here like ever. A lot of the film, I think a lot of the comedy comes from like just the absurdity of like misrepresenting something. Like it's a rock and roll movie and like very inspired by like Bill and Ted and like Wayne's World and everything, but like the music in it is so far from rock and roll. Like I don't really listen to much rock.
Yeah.
And like the movie also kind of forgets it's rock and roll in the middle and then finds it again. You know, it's like it's a forever moving thing. It's like, what is the setting really? Like my character has like 4 different houses. Like it's hard to place. It's awesome in that way.
Yeah.
I kind of find it interesting because like I get you on that, those like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures and stuff, but it was like, it's almost like the Wizard of Oz as well. Like I would say that would be like a really good reference point of like, it's a grouping of friends that are coming together to kind of get over this challenge. And each of them has, you know, like weaknesses and strengths that they play off each other, like throughout the whole experience, like to get to this end goal of like, because it's like the Lute of Sots is like the kind of guitar element that they're trying to find. Like that character also dies in the film. It's not like he's a ghost before the film. It's like, I think you got a Battle of the Bands. That's the whole idea. Like you guys, you're going to be performing in a Battle of the Bands. And
which we kind of forgot about while writing. And then in the movie, we also kind of forgot about it. And like, I get a phone notification that's like, guys, oh no, bro. Yeah.
I never thought of the Wizard of Oz comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think when we studied film and like when I was studying film, was a lot of those kind of you're looking at like the hero's journey type of, and the Wizard of Oz always comes up as a very interesting idea, and like what I always liked about the Wizard of Oz is, you know, most heroes' journeys are this kind of very masculine adventure, where it's one person's experience and overcoming their own internal kind of demons. That's the whole idea of the hero's journey. But with the Wizard of Oz, it's this idea, there's a very interesting kind of femininity to it as well, which is like you're depending on your community to get you through a challenge, rather than it's like, I am great and I will become great. It's like, no, I need to make sure that this, you know, like the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Lion, like will overcome all of their things together, and then we'll become a community. That's why I think like it just stuck out to me. I was like, that's for me felt like the closest point that I could find. It's like kind of a traditional film.
Yeah, I've never thought about how gay The Wizard of Oz is. It's a gay ass movie.
But it is, I mean, there's definitely some queer coded kind of like
that lion's gay as hell.
Exactly. And I mean, like it's like a fabulous film. Like there's so much like kind of like, again, and the textures and the qualities and everything, which again I think like, I don't know, I resonated with your films where it's like it's like this overwhelmingness of like things, but it kind of puts you into this comfort.
Yeah, I know I really wanted to tell like an adventure story because I love having a focus on like setting. Like I love making environments in 3D and 2D and drawing and stuff, and I think you do too. Like I loved working off every like thing that like Leo wrote like or like developed like visually. Like Leo has like a real knack for like setting and everything and like creating these incredible environments both over text and like through drawing in Tux Paint and stuff. And making a journey film is just kind of like the easiest. Like we have a variety of environments. I think of the film as like happening in 3 parts, where it has the city part, and then it has the ghost world part, and then it has the like snowy mountain part.
Past cave.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's also super fascinating. Like, you know, I think I'm trying to like lead an audience into watching this film, because I think it can be an intimidating thing. You know, like if you're not from
YouTube,
if you're not from YouTube or from like an animation culture, like I think like you can quickly be turned off or intimidated by like, what am I supposed to get out of this? How am I meant to interpret it? But like, I don't know, like there's nothing challenging about the film in terms of like a plot or anything like that.
The audio is pretty bad. That's a big hurdle for a lot of people. It's like very echoey.
Interesting. But not like bad in the sense of where you can't understand what's going on, but it's not like presented in a professional, what you'd expect of like a film language. But again, I find like if you're a filmmaker, those kind of moments are often the most exciting, when you're like, my whole life I've been told there's these rules and these structures that you have to follow, and if you don't, you can't make a movie. You're not allowed to make a movie. Like, how dare you? Like, but then you see it and you're like, oh my God, like I could do that. I'm allowed to. Like, why do I need to care if my green screen is keying properly and my hair is like going green from the color of it? Like, that seems to be like a moment where you're making decisions. You're like, look, we're just going to go with it.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with how the green screen bleeding looks, because I think of the film as an animated film and as us as just sort of like puppets or something. And the green screen kind of just acts like an outline, like separating us from the background. It's like a very bright outline, the same way like Powerpuff Girls or something would have a thick black outline. And it's very inspired by like Tom Goes to the Mayor, Tim and Eric show. That is also sort of an animated show with like footage of people on top of it.
We try to be like somewhat cognizant of the fact we're using green screen, as in like not wearing green clothes, but there are also many moments where like the green screen slips, and, like shots where we move around too much. There was a point where, you know, it was just fabric on a wall and the fabric would fall down in some shots.
I think we lean into the roughness sometimes because it gives the film like a very nice like texture to it. But it's also just like, with our movies, it's really important to get out that like anyone can make a movie. Like it's way more accessible than ever.
Shot on iPhone.
Shot on iPhone. Like these things are possible.
That's maybe somewhere like I'd be interested to like hear a little bit more of the experience. I mean, like I think we'll come back to the plotting and a little bit more of that, because I think it kind of like bleeds into the previous films as well. But yeah, maybe you could give me an idea of like, you know, you were all very young when you're making this film. So like, how did you, like what were you using? How did you even approach this? Like when do you decide, okay, we're going to make this into a feature film? Like how do you get the confidence to approach that, I guess?
Well, it started as a concept. We'd been making films together and creating stuff together. We wanted to make a movie together, so we started over WhatsApp with our first movie. But
yeah, this is the third in a trilogy as well, we should say.
It's not strictly connected story-wise, but it's related in the fact that we wanted to improve upon the last and make longer upon the last, and it was a very enjoyable process. So getting to collaborate with each other was very enjoyable, and I think that comes through in the movie as well. There's often the celebration of us as a unit, as friends.
I think if you want to start making a feature film, like Leo was saying, like it starts from the progression. You need to start small. Like our first movie, you give yourself
16 minutes.
Yeah, but like that's Jewel of Cranwell. But our first experience making a movie is just in a house with no sort of script. Just try to make the movie as much as you can.
Yeah.
And then you build on it. Then you have a script. Now can you make that in a day? I think Jewel of Cranwell was filmed in a day, maybe 2.
2 days, I think.
Yeah.
2 sessions.
Crazy.
I think 2
So-
sessions.
Yeah.
And that's quite long. I mean, it's not like it's a short. It's like a 20-minute or something,
Yeah.
like 25
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Like for 2 days of filming, when you're going to be doing again all this animation, creating these assets around it,
Yeah.
because obviously that takes a lot longer.
Yes.
in that
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
But then I think we were talking a little bit before, Leo, and we were like discussing, like there's moments where you realize like I haven't got what I need, and I need to come up with solutions.
Yeah.
Like, either we're going to get together and film more stuff, or I'm going to create a 3D graphic asset of each of us and place it into the film.
Yeah.
Like,
we shot photos of us from like all angles, just standing, in case we needed to use it in the background of something, which is a technique we got from this brilliant film called A Bug's World by Harrison and Parker, these 2 artists from Arkansas.
and that's like, I mean, that's how we end up with like the toboggan moment.
Yes, yeah.
Some really like kind of like crazy ideas of like, again, what I would think of as like kind of the YouTube animation, and I mean, it's surreal in that way.
Yeah,
You know, like, because again, when you're filming a film and you watch most, what I would say is like, like sophomore films or your first projects, most of the time nobody's approaching animation. Like it's too intimidating, it's too much. There's the huge, like it's like I've got a camera, and maybe some of the earlier projects, I've got a camera and I'm just going to film with my friends,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to realize that I'm shooting a scene that's meant to be in a medieval castle, but we're in my kitchen,
Yeah.
But like here, you have to make a conscious decision on every frame that you've got, like, and you're 16 years old.
Yeah.
You're thinking about these kind of decisions.
Yeah, well, I come from an animation background. I've been doing stuff in Blender, and like a lot of these films are done in like Tux Paint and MS Paint and stuff, and then composited in DaVinci. But yeah, so like our original films didn't have any animation, and then like we started playing into like the strength that I had, and especially the strength that Leo had in like the music front of things, and like we were able to combine. And I think Jethro is like electric on camera. Like I think like he's really like a hero. There's a reason people call these movies like Jethro's Mirage, which is the second one. But if I could make this movie now, I would call it Jethro's Demise. I think that's a better
We
title.
got that on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, you all have like extremely interesting personalities though on camera, and like not necessarily who you are in real life. I think maybe Jethro, like you're the closest to who you are on camera. So
Bro's not acting.
no, but it's true. I think your personality shines through, and then it goes into the film. Like Leo, you're actually quite a soft-spoken and like reserved person, but like you like to play on camera. I can see you enjoy it. You like that kind of like, and your character is actually quite fun. Like you've got that kind of like, you've got the touch of like kind of the toxic masculinity of the character balance. Like you're always falling in love with somebody, like a beautiful woman, like whether it's
I think of it as
princess or
boyish
mermaid.
charm.
Yeah.
I think I try to write him as an asshole sometimes. I really enjoy characters being mean to each other.
Yeah,
like
out of nowhere.
resistance.
Yeah.
But exactly that. It's like it's the harmless approach to that. It's not like being like, it's the idea of like we want to toy with it. And I mean, I've been filming and been working a lot with sort of like the drag king and drag queen community, and learning about like the drag king community. I've like understood a little bit more about like what that intention is of like approaching, like toxic masculinity and how do we like address it. And then I was thinking about your character, and it's like it's got a bit of that, like that kind of thing of where you're trying to pick up like the mermaid or something, and like you're desperately trying to save this character. In this moment.
Yeah, it's indeed a theme in the film where I'm always pursuing a lady, which is quite funny to us because I'm gay, and that's kind of a consistent theme where we have queer representation, like kind of shining through. But
it's like a meta comedic aspect
Yeah,
where it's like it's
actually.
funnier if you know the back part of it. Like,
Yeah.
But I think it comes through, and I think that's the point. Is like
Yeah.
it is play.
Yeah,
It feels like play.
yeah.
It doesn't feel like, oh my god, like this
Yeah.
character's terrible. Like what? No, it
Yeah.
feels like you're your
Yeah.
own like worst enemy in
Yeah.
these contexts.
Yeah, and we feel like kids, you know. It's like it's.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people who watch the films are a little older than us, so like.
I mean, that's interesting. Like, when you were making these films, did you have, and specifically maybe this film, but like, did you have an ideal audience in your mind, or like, who were you making them for at the time?
Kind of people exactly the same as us. Like, we wanted to make our own favorite movie, I feel. Like...
And would consider stoners too. Like, we write a script and we're like, let's make sure they can follow it.
Yeah.
I was definitely refining the plot so that it's easily followable and consistent was something that was important, because the first movie was like kind of
All over the place.
all over the place, definitely.
And had a lot of plot points that
You know,
were irrelevant.
the creation process is less imagining a specific kind of audience and more just thinking like, how can we improve on the specific like previous movie? You know, like more, make it more
Yeah.
accessible, more easy to understand.
Yeah. I think in art, it's like when you're creating something independently, you have the, like, there's like a benefit where it's like you don't have to reach a ton of people. But the people that you do reach, you can be way more specific. And because you're way more specific, the people that you do reach will end up being a lot more passionate about what you make. So it's like you're going to reach less people, but because it's specific, it'll hit them way
It'll
harder.
resonate.
Yeah. Like we have a lot of references to like YouTube poop, which is a very specific sort of form of remixing pre-existing clips of like cartoons and like video game cutscenes.
My dream is that YouTube poop this interview.
Yeah.
I mean, like, please. I mean, maybe we can release just the green screen versions of this as well, so that people can play around and do whatever they want with it.
Hell
As well.
yeah.
I wouldn't be against it, to be honest.
Drop box.
But I mean, like, I love YouTube, and I've always been fascinated. You know, like, I came quite late into the YouTube environment. So I studied film. So I've got this kind of like regimented approach to how film should be made. It was kind of like, you know, like knocked into my head from the beginning. Because I never saw myself as a filmmaker. I was never intending to be a filmmaker until I started studying film. And I'd already studied before that. So that's also where it's fascinating. Is like yours comes out of pure creativity, like, or at least it seems that way.
Yeah.
Like as being teenagers and creatively playing, but then like wanting to release that work. Like, when I was young, like we were talking about this before, is like I didn't have YouTube as a platform yet. It hadn't really, like we were only really getting used to social media at that point. So like Facebook was just becoming like quite prominent, but YouTube, like nobody knew about it. Like, and if you knew about it, it was because there was a music video that you would go and find, or somebody would show you. But like, when did you find that like YouTube was a space for yourselves, like that you could be a part of? You know, like was that something that happened? Was there like, you know, like, I mean, I've gone and obviously looked at your channel and found like some of the older stuff, you know, like how do you decide as a kid, like, well, I'm actually going to put something up that other people are going to watch?
Yeah. I guess we like I came from a time where like every kid wanted to be a YouTuber or whatever, like 2017, that was like when I was becoming conscious as a person, like 10 or 11. And so I've just been putting like Roblox and Minecraft Let's Plays up since then. So it's never really been a question for me of like, if I put this up, of course I'm gonna put it up. And I think like now we see a lot of artists sort of retreating from the internet and like go like more so putting stuff in their own communities, especially in film, because it's like so strict with film festivals about like whether your stuff can be out there or not. Film festivals want to have the release. But I think of like putting stuff up for free on YouTube as a way of sort of giving back and like adding to this catalog of like weird queer art online that like inspired me to come out and sort of normalized seeing like trans people on screen and everything. And so I think it's important to have that kind of thing be accessible for kids. And
I definitely think the accessibility of it is also part of it. And being able to access indie animation through YouTube is also very inspiring to us.
Yeah.
I think it would definitely look very different, or maybe it wouldn't have come to fruition. We didn't, you know, have YouTube and found inspiration from YouTube channels and YouTube animators.
Yeah, and the ease of just like being able to throw it on at a hangout. Like I think because our previous film was like 30 minutes long, it's so easy. Like we hear so much more about people watching Jethro's Mirage at hangouts. This one being a little longer, it's a little intimidating. Like you kind of got to plan a movie night around it if you want to watch it at someone's house. But it's still just nice to have it. You can put it on any TV. Most TVs have a smart functionality now. Like you can just throw YouTube up.
Yeah.
And
I find that kind of interesting because, like, yeah, I guess it's exactly that. When I was watching, like, what I was being inspired by as a filmmaker was not other people like me. We were looking towards Hollywood. We were looking towards, like, TV. So it was like what you saw on DSTV or what you saw was like what was inspiring us. Like we didn't have these kind of spaces where you're like, oh, there's the actual filmmaker in the project making the film.
yeah,
It was like, this is unapproachable. This is like this immaculate, you know, like artifact when you watch the film. It was like, there was no ways you could understand how that was made, what was going on. You know, like, I mean, James is standing in the background. A lot of the reason why we've connected, you know, is like Joel Haver and his approach. I mean, he just released a video last night that I watched as well, and like talking about like the growth of YouTube filmmakers and how we now have like young filmmakers, or you know, filmmakers that have come out of the YouTube space that are now blowing up. You know, like Obsession is now going to be probably the most profitable film ever made. Like coming out of you know, like Milk and Cereal and like those kind of films, like found footage YouTube films.
Yeah, and the success of The Amazing Digital Circus is also huge. Like when that came out, that was the night it premiered in the US. I think it was the #1 box office film, and for it to be like the last episode of a show, like you had to have seen this show previously on YouTube, then you have to buy a cinema ticket. The amount of people that went to see that is amazing, and it was made by like a brand new crew and like a trans woman. It's like a very autistic show. It's like it's inherently a little cringe, but like the fact that that show was able to just sort of cement this new studio that was once an indie studio and that is now probably just like a part of it's just another studio now. But like I think it's amazing that like there's this new avenue for like animation specifically to like enter the block, and you don't have to go through the same like DreamWorks or Disney pipeline. Like there's room for more unique stories to be told again, which is great.
Well, exactly that. I mean, like, you know, I can remember distinctly being you know, like a young teenager, and my friend's younger brother, who would have been like probably a toddler at the time, but like we had to watch Shrek every day. Every day. Like we went to his house and we watched Shrek, and it would repeat. Like it would play like 3 or 4 times a day, every day while
Shout
we were
out
there.
Shrek Retold as well. That was a huge inspiration.
I don't even know Shrek Retold.
Oh, you need to see it.
Okay.
It's like 100 artists got together to remake Shrek.
Amazing.
It sounds like you've seen enough Shrek.
No, I mean, like, I still love the film.
Yeah.
I think it's still a beautiful film, and they kind of changed our minds, because that was the change from you know, the Disney princess kind of story to like, okay, well, these are like kind of like, these are flawed characters hanging out together and doing things together, and it's a silly film, you know? But it's beautiful in that way. And you know, like Toy Story also had like elements of that, but like Shrek more than anything.
It's not too tied to its world either. Like it's happy to reference modern day things and stuff, which I think.
Yeah, things bleed into it. Like,
I think that's been a little overdone with like Rick and Morty now. Like maybe we can walk it back, but.
I can't watch Rick and Morty. No, I really can't. Like, it's too far. Like, for me. It's too.
It's cynical.
Exactly, like it's not actually enjoying what it's doing, I think. But like that's what it appears to me, like it's always been. I've always had arguments with people about this.
I'm very interested in like the meta aspect of work, but I think a lot of people think that like something being meta just means like fourth wall breaks when there's like, I think the joy of like a meta aspect of some piece of work is like watching behind the scenes footage and like learning, and then like I said, something being funnier, like Leo being gay but constantly being with women in the films, or like What other like jokes are there that's like funnier when you know the behind the scenes?
I think Matt's character is funny, just to know that he gets there and he doesn't really like. We didn't make him read the script before. We
Matt did
like,
not know what
Matt
was
didn't
going
know
on.
what was going on.
And he comes from a professional acting background.
He's like theater, like on movies on Netflix.
He was on Netflix.
Yeah, and so he gets this thing, and we're just telling him do the line.
Yeah,
he's like,
say this.
How do you want it? He's like, how should I deliver? And we're like, oh, he hadn't really dealt with
You're a rock
question
star.
before.
Yeah.
You're a rock star. I think we made him do the songs maybe first.
Yeah.
And he just jumps right in. He's committed to it. I remember him coming to me and being like, I don't really know how to delve with this. Like, you guys have such a way of acting. I feel like I'm really not living up to it, but we just love the he thinks he gets it in like halfway through. He thinks he really finds his footing, but I love the contrast of just like this steady acting, like the more formal style against ours.
And you obviously kind of box him into a position where he's like the ghost. He's quite static as well. He doesn't get to play as much.
Never get
like,
too close.
We kept joking.
Yeah.
We kept being like, am I in the show with you guys? Like, no.
Yeah, we'll shoot you out.
You get the solo.
Yeah.
But I do love his character. and I
We
think
need to
it's like,
just turn the phone vertical to get him as well, because we're shooting it mostly horizontal.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, like let's get a little bit into kind of the technical aspects then
Yeah.
of making this. Like,
Yeah.
where are you filming this? Like, how is it playing out? Like, you know, like how are you exactly like filming it? Like,
Yeah.
who's behind the camera when you guys are performing in front of the camera? Like,
Usually no one.
Yeah, we have it on a tripod, and we just had the iPhone set up to
Ring
just
light,
record. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a little room, a side room in her room where initially we hung up fabric, but eventually we painted the wall green.
Yeah, as we realized like this project was going to take 2 years, we painted a whole wall green. I still have it as a studio, which is really useful, and we put like foam on the walls from like Take-A-Lot,
Yeah.
which didn't really help with the sound that much.
to try and dampen out the space.
Yeah. But there was no ventilation in it.
And there was a lovely family of wasps that would visit us.
Yeah. There
They
was
were the executives.
there was one window, but we couldn't open it because the wasp had a built-in nest there. So like, it's a winter film, but of course it gets really warm here. So a lot of the time we were like dressed up in winter costume, but we had to like take like huge breaks between filming, and we had to like air the room out with a fan.
Yeah, there's maybe like having the fan on and having to shoot and then having to turn off the fan. and,
Yeah,
like,
because you can't have the fan noise when you're shooting, of course.
But like, how did you find these things out? Because again, like, you obviously weren't going through a film school training of like, this is how you set up the green screen. Make sure you're lighting it and that you've got a like consistent like key light on it. Like, so did you go through the mistakes of this? Like, is that all those projects that you're doing before?
Yeah, a little. I guess I also just sort of knew how green screens worked from doing previous stuff when I was younger.
And where did you get trained, I guess? It's like, was that because you were on YouTube and you were
Self-taught,
looking?
yeah, YouTube stuff. I mean,
Okay.
like iMovie had like a keying function in it that would do most of the work for you.
Yeah.
And then I moved to like Wondershare Filmora, which was also a little easier. And by the time I got to DaVinci, I kind of just got, like, I would just watch green screening tutorials, and I'm not good at it, clearly, but
Yeah.
like, it's good enough.
Like, I haven't keyed out anything since Varsity, which is like 15 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm putting myself in the same
Yeah.
boat now, and probably James as well, which you're going to hate me for it later. But like, as I'm like, let's shoot it on green screen.
Yeah. This
I'm
whole
sure
time
we
I've been
can make
looking
it
at
work.
the reflection on your face, and
It's
I'm
going to be
thinking, like,
such a
that's
glow.
going to be fun.
It's such a glow throughout that.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's also like a characteristic, like you said, where it's suddenly like,
You have a backlight now. You're like backlit in green. That's so cinematic.
it's a mistake if nobody knows that you're on green screen.
Yeah.
If people know you're on
Yeah.
green screen, then it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what we were doing. What do
Yeah.
you want from me?
I think the best thing to do as a filmmaker is play into the like artifacts of whatever medium you're using. Like, just like when someone uses watercolor, they want you to know it looks like watercolor. I'm the same way with 3D. When I use 3D, I want it to look like 3D. When I've drawn on pencil and stuff, I want it to look like pencil. Like, it's a digital medium, so I made sure that like things were scaled nearest neighbor, which is nerdy to say, but it just means like the pixels show way more easily. And
Okay.
I think of the pixels as like a different form of like a brush stroke almost. Like, it's just a texture that
Or how you've primed your canvas.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's how it's
that's a
going to
good way
appear,
of
yeah.
putting it.
I mean, maybe to pivot to some other aspects of this, but like on the music side, like, because now you're saying you're quite, a big part of it is the music end, it's yours. Or, because it's a musical.
Yeah.
Like, I think like there are so many music elements
Which we
going
also
on. in it.
didn't realize when we wrote the script. We were just like, put song here. And we were like, oh, we need to put a song there now.
Did you have like a fully outlined script before you even started shooting, or did it kind of grow as you were going?
It was mostly done.
I think,
Yeah,
I think our ending wasn't written. Yeah.
That we had to really write that towards the end, which was part of how we kept going, because it was like, we didn't know. I think it was purposeful that we left the ending a little vague, because
It's like a carrot on a stick.
Yeah,
Like, we
yeah,
still have
exactly,
something left
yeah,
to do.
yeah,
If you have your
yeah.
whole script written out, it can feel like your movie's already made. You're like, now we just have to film it, and it becomes
just
like
like render it out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, but if you still have something left, there's still more creativity to try to get out of it.
Yeah, and we left room to improvise. There were certain lines.
But yeah, the music's done by a lot of people. I think Summersby and then Flying Squid gave us 2 songs.
Shout out my friend Flying Squid from New Orleans.
Neo Kills a couple too.
And yeah, I did a couple too with some MIDI and then some guitar work. Yeah.
Garage band.
Yes, garage.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And again, I guess that's just like understanding, like, okay, what software is available, what like instrumentation's available, like you know, like I can create on MIDI, like this is how we're gonna do it. Right?
Every software we used was free except for FL Studio, which I had bought for previous reasons.
There's nothing like when you download like Fruit Loops and you think like, oh, this is all accessible. Like, let me start a song, and then you close it and you realize, oh, like I can't save anything.
Yeah,
That's like, well, I guess that song will never live again. It's disappeared into the ether now. I've done that on multiple occasions in my life. I'm just like, and I just can't bring myself to pay for it.
Yeah. If you want my account login, hit me up.
Chat off.
Cut that out.
That's just for me. Just for me.
Yeah. Okay. So my email.
Yeah, that's a joke. That's a joke.
So yeah, like, let's just go back to the structure and like approach, because I think this is kind of important for people to understand. And like I said, like I got put through the formal approach to filmmaking. You know, like when I was studying film, we would have to conceptualize a film, go to our class and our lecturers and present the conceptualized idea as a pitch. You know, like, we've got an idea about these characters that are going to go on an adventure, and you know, like, it's going to be an animation, and blah, 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 blah. And they would grill us, and they would be like, well, how are you going to approach this? How are you going to do that? How is that going to be? Like, have you thought about insurance? Have you thought about how you're going to feed everyone? How you like, and we would have to like justify this whole process.
Yeah.
And I found it extremely stifling as a creative person. You know, like, a lot of my experiences of filmmaking, the most enjoyable ones have been the kind of like almost ad lib and in the moment creativity. That like very rigid structured, like, I will arrive at 8:15 in the morning, and then the kettle will be turned on at 8:16, and like that can be really like draining to go through. So you said you've plotted out your film now. You've got this like full length idea. How do you decide what you're shooting? Like, are you doing it sequentially? Are you doing it like, are you saying like, well, this is an easy moment, I already know how that song's going to play? Like, yeah, talk me a little bit through like, where does it begin then? Like, once you've now got the script or scripted idea.
Yeah, it is shot pretty much sequentially. In segments. So we want to like do a bit, and then we can animate it and get working on that, and then we do a bit more.
Yeah.
And so because if we film all the green screen in one go, then that's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
You don't want to, the biggest chokehold, like bottleneck is the animation and that process.
Yeah.
If you do it in segments, you get a little bit like, but I think we did just do sequentially, right?
Mostly sequentially. There were some bits where it was like we shot like the Matt show part before we shot. Like, we had to think about how we could get Matt a little bit, but for the most part, it was just fully like left to right.
And we also, like, interestingly, because you're from an animation background, you like the people are treated like assets. Sometimes.
Yeah.
So we have moments where it's like, we probably need this shot, like the 3/4 angle.
Yes,
around,
yeah.
Or just like, in general, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And there you can clearly see between takes, like, when the break was, because, like, Leo bleaches his hair at one point.
Yeah.
And there's a bit, like, our physicalities changed throughout the film because we're growing up and going through puberty
There's a bit where I just, like, randomly grow bigger. I'm wearing
you get buff.
We had this joke where, like, we had, like, we talk about my hair being so different, and then we took an unexpected break then.
Yeah, that was before we thought hair would change. Like, that was just something we had written.
The joke was just, like, if someone points something about your hair, you just get, like, insecure. No matter what they say. They're like, oh, did you do something with your hair? And you're like, no, I didn't. And they're like, oh, no, that's good. You just, like, you just feel weird, you know? I didn't do anything. Yeah. And then we came back, and Leo had dyed his hair blonde. And that was unexpected. We didn't expect that. So now we actually had, like, a different joke. And then it comes back to me, and I'm, like, bigger. I'm just older. Yeah. It's so weird.
And some people laugh at that, and I don't know if they know why they're laughing.
At the blonde hair.
Yeah, I think
that one's funny. It's just so funny. It just feels like we dedicated like time to it, a bit. And we did it. Like Leo just wanted to try it.
It was a really happy accident.
Because I mean, that's an important part. Is like, you know, this was, you said 2 years of your life.
Yeah.
And like during high school.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how you can keep consistently focused on a project for 2 years when you're a teenager. Like, I genuinely, like, again, we were talking about this before. It was like, when I was a teenager, I was drinking and partying. That's what I was doing on the weekends. Like, there was no ways I was thinking about something that was happening next weekend, let alone like a year from now. How am I going to plot out? Like, so like, again, do you have like a spreadsheet of like everything you need to get done? Like, it's a written script, or is
That's
it like
most of it, like just like a written script. We had like
Docs.
Google Docs. We had it broken up. Spreadsheets stress me out. Maybe like someday I'll be more into the planning aspect of things, but like, I think it's just about learning to not rely on like motivation is the main thing, or inspiration. Like, you've just got to learn how to work through when you're feeling really drained by it. And having a script there for me was actually really great because it's like, I didn't have to feel inspired to come up with ideas constantly because it was like, I just have to do what the script says.
Yeah.
And there's still room for me to be creative because it's not like a storyboard. Like, I think a storyboard is too rigid because then it's like I'm just rendering something out. But...
And like from the external, one thing I've noticed about your process, I don't know if this is exactly how you would experience it because it's you, but I'm always amazed at your work ethic. And one thing that you do is you sort of like, you get comfortable with the medium. You figure out an entirely like new way to handle the scene, and then you just like get to a new scene and you dive in the deep end again. You're like, I figured out this method. Let me get a new method. Like, it was surprising over the year how many times I'd see you like in my house and be like, oh, can I have like painted pencils, please, and crayons, and then you draw something. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It looks nice. And you're drawing assets for a scene that's going to be done like a year from now.
Yeah, like it's
like
3D.
the different mediums that you hit feel like it's because you're trying to not make it boring. You're like, I want to struggle with something and do something new in the scene. Otherwise, I know for Apocalypse, you said like you don't want to do something repetitive.
Yeah,
like, it needs to challenge you, and I think that's important for motivation too.
Yeah. That's so true. I actually forgot about that aspect because right now I'm not doing that anymore because Apocalypse is so like in its own style. But yeah, changing up mediums is super important because I think it feels great to procrastinate on something. And so when you have a project as big as a movie, there's so much room to procrastinate on the project by doing some other part of the project, like scoring a scene or like
background assets,
doing a different scene.
Textures.
Like there's so much to do that you really feel a little naughty sometimes. It's like I'm not supposed to be working on this part.
I remember many times when B and I would often go to Powder School, which is like an after-school art program, where we would experiment. We would have access to a lot of different materials, I suppose, like making puppets out of paper mache or working with claymation, and that's very fun to witness and also participate in when I can. But,
we tried to build that guitar for the Lute of Sot, but we ended up like leaving it under a drying rack, and I think someone threw it away.
That's history, damn it.
The microphone that Matt was made by paper mache.
That microphone looks like a prop from like the Flintstones live action movie. It looks so gross and meaty.
And it's like forever in your room.
Yeah,
it's awesome. They just live there.
His room is like an artifact full of props from the movie because obviously where else would it go?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm glad we didn't make too many props. I would be like drowning.
I guess there's like there's a digital art, like there must be so much storage of just like assets and
hard drives full. Storage was a huge thing because it's all 4K footage from an iPhone as well because I need to shoot 4K. Luckily iPhones can shoot 4K now, but because I obviously had to zoom in a lot to get the facial expressions, so it just took so much.
Because a lot of the time you're just in a fixed frame and then you're trying to frame and decide like, okay, well, this is now a medium shot. This is a close-up,
exactly.
This is a fixed, like.
Yeah, all those technical terms I didn't even know much about. Like I didn't know about the 180 rule, so I break that a lot.
What's the 180 rule?
That's where you like try to keep the camera within like 180 degrees of a character, like of a shot, so that like
it's the orientation like the audience. So like the audience understands the layout of a conversation. So if the camera's like talking to you and then it's talking to you, they understand like you're left of frame, you're right of frame, you're left of frame, you're right of frame.
Like generally like you should always be facing left if Matt's always facing right, like for instance. But like I would just move people around.
We sort of like to have fun with the breaking of that stuff. Like continuation we make fun of a lot.
Yeah,
so we'll cut away from a camera and then you will be talking to a person and then you cut back and we're hugging.
Yeah,
and then you cut
exactly.
back and that's the joke. It's
and like people are standing like way in the background because I have the static like photos of people. It's like just funny to put someone way back there.
You're in a conversation with someone, they just suddenly turn into a PNG.
Yeah.
It's like, because we're not our strengths aren't being the most formal movie, you just play into them and you're like, it's funny that we're breaking that. The traditional stuff.
It's quite interesting because, like, again, that idea of like this, the rule, the line, which is a rule, and you said like the rule of 180 degrees.
Yeah.
Like, you would go and present your films when I was at varsity.
Yeah.
You know, you would go like, I've made this project. I've spent weeks and months, creating this thing, and you present it in front of your lecturers, and like your audience would sit there and be like, oh, they crossed the line there. Oh, they crossed the line there.
It's like cinema or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like and sure, sometimes it does disorientation.
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it throws it off, like,
Yeah.
especially if you're trying to do like a very traditional style of cinema.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think like a lot of those rules don't matter, and especially in the setting when you're talking about YouTube and online like creativity, it's like no one actually cares.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate like the term like know the rules to break them or something, because no one who knows the rules is really gonna break them. It's just gonna sit in your head as a sort of brainworm and like.
Just a person in the room. It's just Martin.
Yeah, it's an extra voice, like yelling.
Alfred Hitchcock is just.
Like when I was learning digital art, it was always like, oh, you got to learn anatomy and stuff. You got to do all the boring stuff before you can have fun, and that really like made learning at the beginning really suck. And I don't think that that's the path you should take.
I think it's also interesting because like film and art is so exploratory for all these artists. Like when Alfred Hitchcock made things that became the staple of movies, like, oh, you must do it this way because all the greats have done it this way. It's sort of weird because he was exploring. Like he also made a lot of mistakes in his movies because he's exploring. I think
and those mistakes became the rule or whatever.
Yeah. I think artists would be surprised for you to go, well, that's the standard because you did. And you're like, well, I was just trying it out. You know, it's just that's why I think getting bogged down by the rules isn't necessarily the way to go.
Yeah. Like, I think I lost something when I got better at music or whatever, because, like, I'll listen back to my older files and I'll be like, wow, I really didn't know what I was doing, and this sounds crazy.
I don't know. I find that kind of freeing, though, when you go back and you look at those.
Exactly.
Like, a search for perfection is usually disappointing, like, in my experience, you know, like, when you're trying to perfect something. Like, I mean, I paint, and I do, like, abstract painting. And, like, it's such a freeing experience when you're just like, I'm not trying to create form. I'm just doing expression. And a lot of this has that kind of feeling in the way that you seem to approach filmmaking. Feels like that. Which is like the emotional expression is more important than like a rigid, like, this is how it should be done. I guess I want to like maybe chat a little bit more about this timeline of being at school now. Like, you've got exams, you've got other things, you've got things going on. Like, how are you convincing your families like that? You know, like, this is what you should be doing with your time. Like, is anybody else criticizing? Do they even know what you're up to? Like, I mean we talked about this as well, which is a lot of your family sort of like appear as the part characters or little elements in your films. But how supportive were the people around you? Like, like, what were they thinking you were up to at this point?
I'm like so incredibly grateful to have as supportive parents as I've had or whatever. Like, they were there every step of the way and were like, if you want to get green paint for this wall in your room, you can paint it green. Like, sure, we'll help and we'll pay for that and we'll pay for like foam and stuff. Like, and like my computer is my most important tool, and they like pay. Like, I have had incredibly supportive parents the whole way, and I can't understate how much of a like privilege that is to have had that.
There were points where we would get busy and then we would pause, but then in that there was always other aspects of it we could work on. But generally our parents were very supportive and participated in it. That was very nice as well, being able to incorporate people close to us in our movies, like giving parts to friends who were interested in the movie, who had seen Jethro's Mirage and wanted to like, have a role, play a part.
It's kind of like a cameo is kind of like a gift. It's like you get to be a part of this thing. Like, people, I don't know, a lot of people really want it. It's so nice to like immortalize someone in that way.
It's so nice to work with like non-actors and have and have their specific style that also they don't have. It's just like how I don't come from a film background, so like I'm breaking the rules, they're breaking the rules of acting, and it's so funny a lot of the time and like so good.
Well, I think exactly that is like, if you're trained in the traditional sense, a lot of the time is like you're trying to then get back to organic performance. So it's like, I've been trained that this is the way it's going to be, but I need to be this person to be a character. Whereas like your characters often feel like, no, this is the person.
Most cameos are over WhatsApp voice notes. So they're like recorded with a way better microphone and then they're compressed through WhatsApp. And it's like, so much of that like quality is lost, but the fact that it was so... that's that's a moment where like the process greatly influences the outcome, because I think like they would have given a much different performance if they came over and recorded it into a microphone. Like, they're just reading a text off their phone going, oh my gosh, like, Jethro, no, it's in the jar.
Because WhatsApp is also so awkward to record over. It's like you're just alone with yourself in a room. There's no feedback. Like...
And you kind of have to like click send. Like it discourages you from deleting it, I think, like a lot of the time.
You
like...
can do 20 takes. Like there's no one telling you like that's the one. But also I think with time, like there is time apart, but also a lot of our assets are made. Like, I know with Leo's music for Jethro's Mirage, you were making an album at the same time. So we ended up using some of the songs like Line, Line, Line in it.
Yes.
And so some of the process is just they're very naturally creative people, and me as well to an extent. But so there's just a lot that can be like added to it. You know, the amount of work put in creativity was already at quite a high caliber. Amount of time dedicated to it.
And because we like had so much time between shooting and stuff, we had time to like react to what we were making and learn as we go, like, and see, okay, this doesn't work, we should not do this again.
Like the movie like kind of just gets better as
it gets so much better.
It like took a long time to make.
Yeah, and that's the strength of it as well.
I don't know, like I think you're selling yourself short, like in the sense of like it's a good, like it's honestly a good film through.
Yeah.
Like, again, people will, I think, will not be able to, you know, engage with it. Certain people are just not going to be. They're going to be like, this is too much for me. It's an overwhelming experience. But once you like put yourself in the universe of it, it's very like filled out. It's very like thoughtful. It's not like just random, you know, like. Again, if we go back and we look at some of like the earlier work that you're doing on YouTube and stuff, I think that's where like you get to more of the just like, okay, well this is like pure learning experience. I'm learning how to animate. I'm learning how to do things. The like where there's like tuna and stuff like that. There's like super early kind of videos.
Yeah, super young. That was done in like Scratch or whatever, like not even animation software.
But I mean, like there you are, like a child, like, learning how to do these things.
But a lot of the process is the same. Like doing these movies was trying to get back at that, like making an animated movie in editing software. Like for the most part, a lot of it is animated in editing software, which is how I learned, because that's how The Odd Ones Out did it, and that's how they did it for this show called Confinement, which is like, sorry,
that's fine.
YouTube is such a big part.
I think it's cool to also reference these things because, like, I mean, a lot of them I don't know, so it's nice because then it gives me an opportunity to go back and kind of explore and find these.
You don't need to explore The Odd Ones Out.
You say that, but I mean,
yes.
I don't know. I think inspiration comes from strange places, and like, you know, again, like I went back and I watched. So like when I was growing up, I used to like collect like NAG magazine discs. I don't know if you remember like NAG magazine. It was like a gaming magazine.
No.
So it might have been a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
It would have been like the 2000s into the early 2010s.
Yeah.
But effectively, they were like a local, so like a South African gaming magazine. And they'd give you a DVD disc. And on that DVD disc, you'd have all the demos that you could play. And you'd have like weird assets. And have weird like softwares.
That's so cool.
And then and I was thinking back on it, I was like, that's where I found out about a lot of YouTube. Because what they would do is they would rip videos from YouTube, put them on the discs, and then send them out. So if you bought the disc, you could like watch. And there was like, I don't know if you've ever crossed paths with like, Hey Ash, what are you playing? Which was also, I think, she went on to make Baked Goods, which was also like a YouTube show. But it was a brother and a sister making reviews of games. But it wasn't like, hey, I like this game. It was like, we're going to do a skit about the game, but us in our home playing. And so it'd be like,
I love that. Sort of like Angry Video Game Nerd vibes.
Yeah. And like, and it was probably around just after Angry Video Game Nerd kind of like blew up with that kind of conceptual idea.
Yeah.
You know, like Angry Video Game Nerd still feels he is playing a character first. You know, like
he's so into like the film side of it as well. If you go into like he's such a rabbit hole where he thinks of everything he makes as a film. It's so fun.
He's kind of crazy.
I love it though.
Yeah, like
YouTube is great for crazy people.
I know. He's been super inspiring though. Like, I mean, I mustn't take any away from like the stuff that he's like. I loved watching his stuff growing up as well. It was a big inspiration for me. Like, where it was like, well, fucking, I'm just gonna make this stuff. Question of whether stuff like ended up being good, like that's always questionable. But like, it's an art form that you like kind of creates it.
I missed him, but I did like Nostalgia Critic a lot.
Yeah.
I think I had a lot of like older siblings as well, so I was able to like get a lot of like sort of earlier internet stuff that I was a little too young to get, but because they were on the internet, I was sort of seeing it, which feels great because now that kind of stuff feels so. First off, it's so in right now. Everyone wants to be old internet.
Stuff
these
like
days.
Newgrounds.
Newgrounds, yeah.
I think Newgrounds like kind of like created so much of the animation space online from everything I understand. I didn't catch Newgrounds as much. I was just after that when I started finding the internet.
I think I was like playing things that were re-uploaded on different websites, like mostly Mario like fan animations that were like really inappropriate for a kid to see, and like my brother was like, "You're not allowed on the Mac anymore." It's so sad.
You know, I do feel like the first channel I think that I ever followed on YouTube probably was Game Grumps when it was still John Tron and And like, no, I mean, like, but this is the
Aaron
thing.
Hansen.
No, but that's the thing. Like, when you're a kid, these are like, oh my God, these guys are like edgy as everything. And now I go back and watch this, like what is actually going on with this kind of like humor of things?
Aaron Hansen still has such a hold on the indie animation space.
It's true.
He was in Digital Circus. He's in that new pirate. I shouldn't shit talk. But like,
it's not shit talking. I mean, like, I think, again, they had their own thing. I don't know if they've ever grown as like creators, which is our fault. Like, I felt like there's a little bit of
John Tron definitely did it. He's like in it.
He's found this kind of like weird space.
But Tom Falk, the creator of Newgrounds, is like a really cool guy and still really cares about like fostering a community. Like he asked specifically for my new show to be put on Newgrounds and stuff, and he's given out like prizes and stuff. He really cares about community and stuff and online, and I think that's cool.
So you've released this film now on YouTube already. It's already out there. Like, what is the intention? I mean, like, have you sent it to like festivals? Like, do you see it as a film and living in the traditional film spaces, or do you want it to live in this kind of digital filmmaking world still? Like, where? Yeah, like, what is the?
We love screening it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love screening it. We had a screening at Baxter, I think, like a year and a half back, where we sold
at the Labia.
Oh, the Labia. Sorry. We sold some shirts as well, and that was really fun seeing people gather and
handmade shirts with stencils we made.
And we are very excited to do another screening. It's quite a long movie, so it's not really something you could submit to something like open mic film. Well, we have shorter movies that we can submit to stuff like that. But
it has to be its own event, which means it gets seen a lot less, but it's really special. Like, I was visiting Chicago last year as well, and there was this like share house that was willing to screen it in their backyard.
Yeah.
And they usually host like drag shows and like clown drag shows, which was so cool. Shout out, I actually don't know if I should shout them out because I think they're Foggy House or whatever, Big Foggy. But really cool space that like I just got to show it to a lot of people who had never seen who I was. They were usually like locals there for drag shows, and I'm not used to seeing people's reactions to stuff because I'm online. So like getting being in a room. That's why I think Open Film Night is so special, because
that's also a very big part of it, seeing people's reactions like to our movie, like live, seeing what they laugh at, what they don't. That's a big
if I could, I would be sat up by the screen and like staring back at the audience.
It's often what we do is like film. It's like either right at the back. So like if I'm ever at Labia and we're showcasing work, like we often just stand at the back, like as the filmmakers, and exactly what you're describing is like we're feeling the emotion of the room and we're trying to understand like what's going on and how people are receiving it. It's a very like
when we screened at the
task.
Labia, it was crazy. Like I had to keep running up and down to the projectionist.
I would be keen to know a little bit about like where are each of you going now? Like what, like traditionally, again, like I study film. I now think I need to become a filmmaker. I need to get into the industry. I need to like keep on working on this. Like, what is your journey as filmmakers now? Like, what are you anticipating doing next? What are you working on currently? Like,
well, we are working on this more live action film called Bumpy's Buppet List.
Okay.
Which is a puppet film or whatever, mostly set in the real world. No, like a lot less green screen. I wanted to like stretch, and it's like with a real Blackmagic camera. So I really wanted to kind of. It feels like we've pushed that idea of the green screen movie as far as it could possibly go for us right now, at least, without being like James Cameron's Avatar, which is also an amazing green screen movie. I think of it as the same. Is it James Cameron?
It is.
Yeah.
You trying to get hired for Avatar 4?
Yeah, I think I could make a fire Avatar.
Yeah, that's our next movie, Avatar 4.
Bumpy's Buppet.
But no, Bumpy is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to study in the US, but I'm going to be back in December, and we're hopefully going to shoot that then. But it's
where are you going to be studying?
I'm going to be studying the experimental animation course at Cal Arts.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think well deserved. I mean, like, to be as young as you are and be exploring these like mediums so readily and like with interest. Again, like most people are going into those university spaces with the most basic understanding, like maybe put out 1 or 2 little videos here or there. But like you guys have been doing feature films. You've been doing lots of, like you've done web series, so I'm excited to see. I mean, I implore you not to get destroyed by the system of making projects and like spreadsheets. Like avoid them as much as you can, because I think like you're creating some interesting stuff. try and hold on to the integrity of what you have as like creatives.
Yeah, and we'll definitely, I'd love to be lifelong collaborators.
Me too.
I think we're so in tune.
That's the dream.
Like, I want to get right back here. And like, you're going to be doing like music and stuff, right? Like you playing?
I have my YouTube channel, which has some side projects that we've done, some smaller films we've done.
Yeah.
Independent animations and stuff in music. We'll probably continue to be published there. I don't know about Jethro's presence, but
There's been a schism.
There's a rift.
I just don't know.
There was some behind the scenes.
Yeah, so we're going to publish a movie, we're going to publish some animations.
Yeah.
In
And
any case,
you've been doing movies with James as
Yeah,
well.
I want to
Indeed,
get
yeah.
involved with as many creatives as
Yeah,
possible.
and
Frankie,
Yeah,
we're
we
very
shot
animated.
Yeah.
It's kind of a conflict of interest.
But
But I
That's
just really
like-
enjoy the creative process. I know so many creative people, and I think this, for me, you both independently produce your own creative output, and then you work together, make it. I've had such a privilege working with you guys on this. Like, I'm really proud of it.
the privilege is
Proud of
all
it.
ours.
But I just hope for my creativity that I still get to explore that, and I gain more confidence to publish my own type of things.
It's
and explore it
intimidating.
independently. Yeah.
Drop
If
the
you can put it-
album.
If you can put if you can put it next to other people, it's really nice because it's sort of a shield. And it's like with such strong work that you people put out. Weird phrasing, but you know, it's just
You
really-
people?
You people.
What should I say?
That's okay, just leave it at that.
Non-binary folks. The mad line. The mad line. You see the schism.
But I think you're right in the sense of that, of like, it's really hard to put artwork. I mean, like, I've made so many films in my life, and like, I think I have one film on YouTube. Like, two now, actually, because we've released the film as well. Because, like, I'm intimidated. It's like, oh my God, like, do I want people to watch what I'm creating? Like, what is the judgment that's going to come back after this project? Like, it's super intimidating. So, like, can
the
you
thing
speak
that
to
sucks
that
about
then?
putting it on YouTube is just that it's like put with all the other slop, and there are going to be people who watch it and will think of it in the same vein as that, and won't think of it as something with a person behind it, and they'll
Yeah.
comment on it like they would a PewDiePie upload or something. Like, and that can really suck as a creative to get that back, because you want people to be engaging intentionally.
Yeah.
That's why screenings are good because you
Yeah.
get to feel that. But putting things out is so scary.
Yeah, and
It takes a
complicated.
lot. I'm really proud of that. Like how much you guys have put yourselves onto the internet, and like, you know, like, because you have to.
Yeah.
It's the only way that you grow. Is like by actually putting it out there, getting that reception.
Yeah.
But also, it's like once you put it out there, you look at it differently. Like it's very different when you're holding on to it.
Yeah,
It like sits
yeah.
in you.
Yeah.
I think for now we're probably going to call it for today. We will be doing a screening with you of the film
Yeah.
later this month.
So excited.
And there will be a chance for Q&A to kind of like talk a little bit more and
Hell yeah.
also engage with an audience there, which will be fun and kind of get a bit of feedback there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see where the next projects are. I'm hoping I get to come and hang out with you guys on Minecraft at some point, because I've been watching your Minecraft playthroughs. Yeah, like it'll be really
From
cool.
like 2021.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why you're playing 1.8 as well. Like I don't really understand. Like 'cause it was like 1.14 by the time you were playing 1.8 on that playthrough with your friend.
What Minecraft?
Bro played Michael before Shields.
This was your hardcore playthrough.
Yes,
like,
with my good friend Krem.
Yes.
That was
Exactly.
a crazy time in my life.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a
But then also your server.
Yeah, not warm.
I've still got like a server that I play with my friends now at the moment. So we've got like a Minecraft realms that we build on like all the time. So like I think there's so much creativity in those kind of like gaming spaces
Yeah.
that we haven't even really touched on today. but-
Yes. Yeah. Shout out gaming.
Yeah. Well, like Minecraft, like
The lo-
emergent like
the local
storytelling.
indie game scene here is also phenomenal. Or
Yeah.
whatever. Like
And it's really been kind of like growing throughout the years.
totally. We went to that super friendship arcade like forest
Yes.
thing.
That was amazing.
So cool.
Okay, I think we'll call it for the day. Thank you so much for coming out and having a quick chat with us. I'm
Yes.
excited
Thank you.
to see.
It was so
You're a wonderful
Exciting.
interviewer and host, and thank you.
yes.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Happy.
We feel so special as one.
Well, you are like you like literally have done so much more than like anybody around me that's in this industry and working. Like, so I think it's just a matter of like continuing to do creative and fun things. Like, and you're finding an audience already. You already got like tens of thousands of people like interested in what you're doing. Like that's the dream for most of us as filmmakers.
I'm hoping for the movie to hit 10K on YouTube at some point. I think it's at 8K now.
I think it will. I think again, the nice thing is it's an asset that lives there now. You know, it's not like it's done a cinema run and like, oh, it was disappointing because only 1,000 people came out and watched a film, which is the experience of most filmmakers in South Africa.
It's so disposable. It's such a shame how it's treated.
No, exactly. So like having it out there and having brave enough to be like, you know what, I'm going to own my platform. I'm going to be part of that platform. Like I will 100% always like support YouTubers like being maybe the most exciting platform around for creatives. Like if you're looking to create something, create it on YouTube, honestly. Cool. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you at the screening in a few weeks' time.
Yes, see you there.